कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीर वनचारी। यमुना तीर वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपदा 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 जय प्रभुपदा। प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। नमो विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर सता भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासदि गौर बकुंद की जय। अंतरिक मायापुर धाम की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, समावेश भक्त वृंद की जय। गौ प्रेमानंदे all gurus to assemble devotees, all gurus to assemble devotees, all gurus to assemble devotees, all gurus to Guru and Gaura. Hare Welcome to Shri Radha Govinda Temple. We just sang Srila Prabhupada's most favorite bhajan, Jai Radha Madhav Nikunja-Bihari. I have repeated it many times, but for the people who do not know, this is the most important weapon that he was using in order to preach. Why I call it a weapon? Because in Gorakhpur, near Surat, somewhere in Punjab, many places, when Srila Prabhupada used to sing this particular bhajan, Jai Radha Madhav Kunja Bihari, then naturally the process in Ashtanga Yoga is Yam, Niyam, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahara, Dhyan, Dharana, Samadhi. All these steps you go, then you go into trance. Then Jnana Avastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino. Prabhupada explains that then the yogi actually can see Lord Krishna in front of him in the trance. It's possible. But you have to go through all these steps. And it takes years and years sometimes. But Prabhupada saying this particular bhajan, put his whole heart in it, trying to understand every word. Jaya, Radha, Madhav, Kunj, Bihari, Gopijana, Vallabha, Girivarada. And he was translating everything in his mind and he was trying to visualize Krishna. And all of a sudden, he became like a wooden statue, just like you see here, right? The idol or deity of Prabhupada. He became like that. And devotees were worried. What happened? After a while, they shake him up and they say, what happened? Oh, no, not everything. And he says, that's it for today. And then they inquire, Prabhupada, what happened this morning? You were talking and all of a sudden. So I went into trance. So it takes a long, long time and practice to go through all those yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahara, dhyan, dharana, samadhi, all that. And then you reach that stage. But I tried to sing it in such a way, I put my heart in it, and I was able to see everything in front of me. So this was the achievement. And when it happened 2-3 times, this became the tradition that we must sing this. So people sing it for the sake of singing sometimes, like they come and then they are also chanting at the same time. They are reading something, they are on cell phone and but that's not the way. Prabhupada said that this is the only weapon that you can, if you want to really preach very strong and real, what you call efficiency, then you achieve it through this particular song. And that's why we have been singing this particular song. So this time it's okay. Next time when I come, please cooperate with me and put all your heart in it, It's going to be a long session today because from text number like 49 to 50, 51, 52, 53, all these verses we have to do. So what it means that, it will be projected on the screen and then I speak and then you repeat and then every word also will be translated and then also it will have purports and all that. So it's more or less like a kindergarten. You will learn 200 new words, but very little thing to speak because there is no time, right? So, but whatever it is, it is. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमलोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठकी। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्विता। हरे कृष्ण। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So you are always here, and that way you know where we are. For me, I have to know where we are. So the last verse you read was, "My dear Lord, you are never bewildered by the formidable influence of the illusory energy of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, you are omniscient and should be merciful and compassionate towards those who are bewildered by the same illusory energy and are very much attached to fruitive activities." And then now we have to continue on the next verse. So, the story is that all the demigods, they approach Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma is Adidev, he is a father of Lord Shiva actually. So demigods thought that whatever Shiva did, maybe if he go to Brahma, he will scold him. That was the intention behind it. This is what it says in this chapter. But what happened? Lord Brahma didn't do that. On the contrary, he started scolding the demigods and he explained the position of Lord Shiva. And he said that you should never see the difference between me and Lord Shiva. If you respect me, you have to also respect Lord Shiva. So now go back to him and try to convince him, ask him to give you forgiveness, and then, whatever desire you have will be fulfilled by his mercy. He is a very merciful person and you should go there. So this kind of things are there. He himself also joins them and then he's trying to speak to Lord Shiva. So the next verse is, it's in here. Kurva advarasya uddharam matasya bho. Kurva advarasya uddharam matasya bho. Tvaya samaptasya mano prajapatehi. Tvaya samaptasya mano prajapatehi. Na yatra bhagam tava bhagino daduhu. Na yatra bhagam tava bhagino daduhu. कुयाजिनो ये नमको निनीयते कुयाजिनो ये नमको निनीयते. Anybody want to try? You know. That's it. Now, can we go to the word by word translation? Now, you see that reason when I speak something, like I read Sanskrit, because what happens when they print English, there are millions of mistakes. I go through Bhagavad Gita, rest of the books Prabhupada has written. Here, for example, what is the word, first word? Kuru is Pandava and Kuru, Kaurava. Kuru means Kaurava. It is Kurva. If you go to Sanskrit version, the word is Kurva. Kurva. It's not Kuru. So the meaning is just executed. Kurva. Then Adarasya means of the sacrifice. Uddharanam means complete, regularly. Hatasya means killed. Boho means O. Tvaya by you. Asamaptasya of the unfinished sacrifice. Mano, O Lord Shiva. Prajapate of Maharaj Daksha. No, not yatra, where bhagam, share, tava, your, bhagina, deserving to take the share, daduhu, did not give, kuyajina, bad press, yena, by the bestower, makha, sacrifice, niniyate, gets the result. So now we go to the next verse, which is continuation of that verse which was translated by His Divine Grace Lord Sri Prabhupada, and the translation is like this. Text number 50, translation. My dear Lord Shiva, You are a shareholder or portion of the sacrifice, and you are the giver of the result. The bad priests did not deliver your share, and therefore you destroyed everything, and the sacrifice remains unfinished. Now you can do the needful and take your rightful share. So the continuation is, you want to project the next one? जीवता यजमानोऽयम् जीवता यजमानोऽयम् प्रपद्येताक्षिणी भगो प्रपद्येताक्षिणी भग भृगोश्मश्रुणीरोहन्तु भृगोश्मश्रुणीरोहन्तु पुष्णोदन्ताश्च पूर्ववत् पुष्णोदन्ताश्च पूर्ववत्. Want to try? So we go to the words one by one. Jivatat means let him be alive. Yajamanaho, the performer of sacrifice. Daksha, I am this. Prapadyeto, let him get back. Akshini, by the eyes. Bhagaha, Bhagdev. Bhugoho, of the sage Bhrugu. Smashuni, mustaches. Rohantu, may grow again. Pushnaha, of Pushadeva. Dantaha, the chain of teeth. Cha, and Purvavat, like before. So after text 51, we will be jumping on to 52. But the translation by Srila Prabhupada of this particular text number 51 is, my dear Lord, by your mercy, the performer of sacrifice, King Daksha, may get back his life. Bhaga may get back his eyes. Bhrugu his mustaches, and Pusha his teeth. You understand, or you want to repeat? It's self-explanatory. My dear Lord, by your mercy, the performer of fire sacrifice, King Daksha, may get back his life. Bhargav may get back his eyes, Bhrugu his mustaches, and Pusha his teeth. So now we have to go to text number 52. Devanam Bhagnagātranam Devanam Bhagnagātranam Rutwijam Chayudashmabhihi Rutwijam Chayudashmabhihi Bhavatanu Guhita Namashu Bhavatanu Guhita Namashu Manyostu Anaturam Manyostu Anaturam.
Devanam Bhaganagat Nityanam Sat Alatmahari Bhagavat Kitnam Ashu Manos At Anatuna Devanam Bhaganagat.
So word to word translation is here. Devanam means of the demigods. Bhagna Gatranam, whose limbs are badly broken. Rutriyam, of the priests. Cha, and Ayudha Ashmabhihi, by the weapons and by stones. Bhavata, by you. Anudrutanam, being favored. Ashu, at once. Manyo, O Lord Shiva, in an angry mood. Astu, let there be. Anathuram, recovery from injuries. So out of all these words, Manyo, I would like to pinpoint because only when you address Lord Shiva, Manyo, when he is in angry mood. The same thing when you read about Lord Narasimha, Prabhupada explains, he has many forms, When he appeared before Prahlad Maharaj, he was not fearful. But when he appeared before Hiranyakashipu, look at how it looks, very fearful appearance, And that's the difference because these personalities have so many names like Vishnu Sahasranam, 1000 names of Lord Sri Vishnu, Keshvaya Namam, Narayana Namam, Madhavaya Namam, Govindaya, Vishnave Namam, Madhusunaya, Trivikramaya Namam, Vamanaya, Sridharaya Namam. There is no limit to that. And every one of them has different pastimes. Keshvaya Namah is not the same as Govindaya Namah. It's not the same as Govardhanaya Namah. Everyone has a different pastimes. So when you read those 1,000 names, the whole Bhagavatam is in front of you. It takes 5 minutes to read those names, but then the whole Bhagavatam is in your mind. That's the beauty of Ashtotra Nam, Sahasra Nam, all that, you know. So this is Manyo, means, oh Lord Shiva, in an angry mood. So we'll go to the text number 53 now, and we read the translation of 52 here by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. O Lord Shiva, may the demigods and the priests, whose limbs have been broken by your soldiers, recover from the injuries by your grace. Once again, O Lord Shiva, may the demigods and the priests, whose limbs have been broken by your soldiers, recover from the injuries by your grace. So we enter this text number 53. Eshate rudrabhagostu, eshate rudrabhagostu, yaduchisto dvarasya vai, yaduchisto dvarasya vai, yagnaste rudrabhagena, yagnaste rudrabhagena, kalpatamadya yagnaham, kalpatamadya yagnaham.
Eshate Rudra Bhagos Yadvichisto Prabhrasyava Yagnaste Kalpatam Adhyaya Yadvichisto Kalpatam
I usually leave it open, whoever wants to repeat can repeat. But Srila Prabhupada was in mood of preaching. And he knew these Americans, they will never learn unless you establish a system. That's why he used to separate Matajis also. So once the male people, they repeat, then they ask Mataji, Mataji, would you please? She will walk out. Anyway, but I try to do that because he used to respect Mataji's presence also, and will ask Mataji to repeat it. Anyway, by any time anybody wants to say anything, it can always say. So we go word by word translation here. Eshaha means this. Te, your, Rudra, O Lord Shiva, Bhagaha, portion, Astu, let it be, yet whatever, Uchishtaha is the remainder, Advarasya of the sacrifice. Why? Indeed, Yagna, the sacrifice, Te, your, Rudra, O Rudra, Bhagena, by the portion, Kalpatam, may be completed, Adya, today, Yagnaham, O destroyer of sacrifice. So now translation by Srila Prabhupada. O destroyer of the sacrifice, please take your portion of the sacrifice and let the sacrifice be completed by your grace. O destroyer of the sacrifice, please take your portion of the sacrifice and let the sacrifice be completed by your grace. This is an important translation because when you go to Atharva Veda, there is a ritual. We also do that, like Gita Jayanti Yagna or Guru Parampara Yagna or the last Ahuti, sometimes like Namo Brahmane Devaya and all that, But actually when we do that, it is Om Agnaye Svishtakrute Svaha. Om Agnaye Svishtakrute Svaha. And this is the translation in Atharva Ved that, O destroyer of sacrifice, please take your portion of the sacrifice and let the sacrifice be completed by your grace. So even today we think of Lord Shiva and give him the portion. We make sure that our sacrifice is finished. That's why in Atharva Veda this is injunction that you must chant this particular mantra and then your sacrifice is finished. The mantra is Om Agnaye Svishtakrute Swaha. And it says here that please take your portion of the sacrifice and let the sacrifice be completed by your grace. So this was very important event in Bhāgavatam, in the history of demigods, in life of Shiva or Daksha, Prajapati and all that thing. Now we read the purport. Fortunately, there were no purports for the rest of the verses, which is fine, because this only one purport will take rest of the time. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. A sacrifice is a ceremony performed to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Śrimad Bhāgavatam, first canto, second chapter, it is stated that everyone should try to understand whether the Supreme Personality of Godhead is satisfied by his activity. In other words, the aim of our activity should be to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead, just as in an office it is the duty of the worker to see that the proprietor or the master is satisfied. So everyone's duty is to see whether the Supreme Personality of Godhead is satisfied by one's activity. Activity to satisfy the Supreme Godhead are prescribed in the Vedic literature. An execution of such activities is called yagna. In other words, acting on behalf of the Supreme Lord is called yagna. One should know very well that any activity besides yagna is the cause of a material bondage. That is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Yagnartha karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaham. Karma bandhana means that if we do not work for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord Vishnu, then the reaction of our work will bind us. One should not work for his own sense gratification. Everyone should work for the satisfaction of God. That is called yagna. After the yagna was performed by Daksha, all the demigods expected prasada, the remnant of foodstuffs offered to Vishnu. Lord Shiva is one of the demigods, so naturally he also expected his share of prasada from yagna. But Daksha, out of his envy of his Lord Shiva, neither invited Shiva to participate in the yagna, nor give him his share after the offering. But after the destruction of the yagna arena, by the followers of Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma pacified him and assured him that he would get his share of prasada. Thus, he was requested to rectify whatever destruction was caused by his followers. In Bhagavad Gita 3:11, it is said that all the demigods are satisfied when one performs yagna. Because the demigods expect prasada from yagna, yagna must be performed. Those who engage in sense gratification, materialistic activities, must perform yagna. Otherwise, they will be implicated. Thus, Daksha, being the father of mankind, was performing yagna, and Lord Shiva expected his share. But since Shiva was not invited, there was trouble. By the mediation of Lord Brahma, however, everything was settled satisfactorily. The performance of yagna is a very difficult task because all the demigods must be invited to participate in the yagna. This part is actually the conclusion. Whatever Prabhupada wants to say, he is saying in this particular paragraph. The performance of yagna is a very difficult task because all the demigods must be invited to participate in the yagna. In this Kali Yuga, it is not possible to perform such costly sacrifice, nor it is possible to invite the demigods to participate. Therefore, in this age, it is recommended Yagna Sankirtana prior Yagnati he Sumedsaha. Bhāgavatam 11:530. Those who are intelligent should know that in this Kali Yuga there is no possibility of performing the Vedic sacrifice. But unless one pleases the demigods, there will be no regulated seasonal activity or rainfall. Everything is controlled by the demigods. Under such circumstances, in this age, in order to keep the balance of social peace and prosperity, all intelligent men should execute the performance of Sankirtan Yagna by chanting the holy names Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. One should invite people, chant Hare Krishna, and then distribute prasad. This yagna will satisfy all the demigods, and thus there will be peace and prosperity in the world. Another difficulty in performing the Vedic ritual is that if one fails to satisfy even one demigod out of the many hundreds of thousands of demigods, just as Daksha failed to satisfy Lord Shiva, there will be disaster. But in this age, the performance of sacrifice has been simplified. One can chant Hare Krishna, and by pleasing Krishna, one can satisfy all the demigods automatically. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of 4th canto, 6th chapter of Śrimad Bhāgavatam entitled Brahma Satisfied Lord Shiva. So that is the end of our chapter. Wonderful, beautiful. Yeah, Prabhu, you had a question or anything? No?
How important was this yagna to all of these personalities at the time? This was Satya Yuga. And Prabhupada has gone into nice detail in this purport describing how if there's any discrepancy, if any of the demigods are displeased, then there can be havoc and disaster. Prabhupada goes on to say how one should know firmly that in Kali Yuga it is not possible to perform yagna as it's being described here. Yet the demigods still must be satisfied, otherwise there will be no rainfall and won't we won't be able to live properly on this planet because nature will be restricting. So yagna has been simplified. Yagna, the principle of yagna is ever present, it's never to be neglected, but everything is there in the Sankirtan yagna. And Prabhupada has even mentioned at different times how great personalities came and participate in our yagna. Prabhupada even mentioned about the long drought that was taking place in Andhra Pradesh, Hyderabad, in the mid 70s. And after they did their Pandal program there, then rainfall started coming and everything was nice, although it was a terrible drought for like 6 years. So this is a nice purport for us to take stock in the importance of the process of Sankirtan Yagna has been given to us by the Yuga Avatar, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Very wonderful, very wonderful. I like the comment because that is exactly what Prabhupada wants to say in this particular chapter and conclude the chapter by um, highlighting the importance of Sankirtan. And that is why even when people do not care what we are chanting, we go out and chant on the streets so that at least they can hear those transcendental vibration and they have some benefits out of it. But the main thing that I would like to add is here when the word demigod comes, we look up, oh, Lord Indra, Lord Chandra, Lord Surya, and we are impressed by them. But in reality, what happens that there is actually no difference between us and them. This body is made out of the particles, matter, this bone, skin, and everything you see, it's dead matter. And soul is consciousness. When these two put together, something happens. In chemistry, in physics, no matter where you study, H2O. There is hydrogen and there is oxygen. But when you put together, the drop of water comes out. Right? So that is known as Vyatirek in Sanskrit. Vyatirek means it is neither belong to hydrogen nor belong to oxygen. Something third thing came out of that just because of presence of two. So presence of this matter, the body, and the presence of the soul, the Vyatiret comes out. And what is that? Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Matsar. All these vices are coming out of it. Either it's a human body, either it's a dog's body, a demigod's body, whoever's body. But when it is created because of these two elements, one is dead matter and the other is conscious. The third, Vyatirek, is coming out And that creates this thing. Today is very auspicious day because today is a Shivaratri. And it is said that we all, everyone has two eyes, but Lord Shiva has third eye. Through this third eye, he is destroying all that Vyatirik that comes out of it. Calm. Kamdev himself was there. Forget about his ability. He himself came out in front of Shiva and he just opened his third eye and he burned down to ashes. Sanjat sanjayate kamat, kamat krodham abhijayate. Krodh, anger, nobody can control, right? But he opened his eyes and he destroys anger. Lobh, greed. Everyone has, I want this, I want this, I want more. Prabhu, can I have one more chapati? Right? It's a greed. You don't need one more chapati. But it's a greed, you know. Matsar, very, very important. What is a matsar? Anybody know? Kam, krodh, lobh, moh, matsar. I give laddu. I distribute one laddu, everybody gets one laddu, right? And I give you 10 laddus. And then Prabhu just entered and I gave him one laddu. And although you have 10 laddu, you say, why you give him one laddu? He doesn't even live in the temple. He doesn't even serve Krishna. We even don't know him. Right? Why? What is this going on? You have 10 laddu in your hands. You eat those and satisfy yourself. Why you are looking at others' plate and try to be jealous? Jealousy is better. That somebody has two and you have one and it's, oh, how come he has two? I have only one. That's a different story. It's a matter of justice. But you have 10 and the guy gets a little bit of prasad and you complain about it. That's matsar. And Lord Shiva opens his eyes and destroys the matsar. So it's very auspicious to be here together on this particular Shivratri day. And like I suggested Sunday lecture, that if possible, you visit Ganesh temple because that's where the whole 24 hours, it already started, all the way through tomorrow morning, people will be worshipping. And there is all the local channels of televisions and photographers and the newsman and everybody's there. And thousands of people, you will be surprised. They have abhishek and, sacrifices and everything, They just keep going uninterrupted, Avan, asana, padya, argya, achmanya, snana, vastra, upavita, gandha, pushpa, dupa, deepa, naivedya, tamula, dakshina, pradakshina, unlimited paraphernalia they keep offering to Lord Shiva. And Smarana, Vandan, Pada, Sivana, Dasya, Pujan, Sakijana, Atmanived, all the 9 ways they serve, They have no limit about Shiva only because they are like a supermarket, Any god you think of, it's there. You say, oh, I believe in Indra. Oh, right there in the corner. Yamaraja. Oh, Yamaraja is sitting right there, So it doesn't matter what you are worshipping, but it's experience because that is also a devotion, a kind of, faith. So we learn out of that these people are so faithful, whether it works or no, whether it's right or no, doesn't matter. But in order to see that and enjoy that, you should visit that if you have time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Thanks for joining. Hari Bol.